Good evening, everybody. Today is May the 28th, the last Sunday of the month. I have my co-host with me, Nia Amani. Can you say hi to the people?
What's up, people? How about them Celtics? Yes, we did
Hmm.
that. We
Okay,
did
okay,
all of
okay,
that.
okay, okay. Hey, OG, you're on here too.
You
You're one of
must
my
be a
co.
Laker fan.
O,
What's up?
OG, you one of my co-hosts too. It's your turn to speak.
Yeah, what's up, y'all?
Ain't nothing much. All right, today we're going to get in the gap. The first thing I want to talk about today, I've been getting a lot of pings this week about the Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade uh, thing, saying that Gabrielle Union said her and Dwayne Wade go half and half on the bills, even though he makes more money. It's been a lot of people. Well, first, before we go to that, let's say rest in peace to the legendary Tina Turner, the Queen of Rock and Roll. She died at 83. Um, and we just want to say give our condolences to her and her family.
And
Um,
Jim Brown too.
we said Jim Brown last week, but
Yeah,
anyway, anyway, uh,
you a Lakers
any,
fan, so
anyway, no, I don't like the Lakers. I don't look at basketball, but anyway, Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union said they go half and half. I want to get y'all response on that because a lot of people been trolling Gabrielle Union for going half and half with her husband. I just want to get y'all opinion on that. You can go first, OG.
I mean, I really don't have no opinion. I think it's great. I don't know what the problem is with it. I mean, I just don't see a problem with it at all.
What you think about it, Nia?
I personally, oh well. I mean, why does anybody care if she paid half and if they go half and half in their marriage? What? Why does anybody care? That's what's wrong with people. That's what's wrong with people in society today. We are so into everybody else's business. We mind everybody's business except the business that pays us. I don't care if she go half and half. That's just like what's the lady name? What's the lady name? I think the lady name Tabitha Brown.
Mm-hmm.
She
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she bought her
she
husband a
got her
car or something.
brand, and now her husband not working.
Yeah, she
But
retired him.
yeah, she retired him. What's the problem?
She
You
had
know, a
business.
marriage is a union. It's the two people who are married, engaging. They are setting the rules for their marriage as it applies to them and how they want to live. Who
Yeah.
cares about who paying what? They being taken care. They are taking care of each other. So
Yeah.
why I don't even know why people trolling her. Why do people care?
You know, I have no clue. I mean, I thought marriage was 50-50. When the women who come on, they say they're looking for a high value man. They looking for a man that go 50-50. Then when a woman get a high value man and she go 50-50 with him, it become a problem. Which,
Exactly.
hey y'all, how y'all doing? Hey, hi kids. Um, which brings me to this question is, and it's a question for the women because I don't think most of us men can answer it. And it's, what is it that women want from a man? What is it that women really want from us men?
Well, I saw a poll where I was looking this week trying to find some topics to talk about. I saw a poll where they said the submissive woman is winning. Men don't want a dominant woman. They want a submissive one. And
That
they said the submissive woman is winning.
I don't know who wrote that, but that's
I
false.
don't know who wrote that BS.
Yeah, that's false because I mean, I don't want a militant wife, but I don't want no submissive woman either. You know, I
So
just
what's the
don't.
in between? What's the in between of that?
That's for the women to answer.
So
A man,
we got some ladies on here. We got some ladies on here who joined in. So
All right.
we
Well,
got
we got you
PR, we
guys.
got Miss Maxine, Pierre, and I just posed a question to them. What do you want in a man?
Hello, everybody. I didn't know y'all was on, but hey,
yeah, they on. We got. Oh, I ain't gonna say nothing. Go ahead, tell them who on D. I mean, Nia, Imani.
I just did. Pierre, Miss Maxine, Pierre. That's all. That's all that has
Um,
responded thus far. Oh, we
there's
got
somebody
Melinda.
named
Melinda
somebody,
just popped up.
and we have a Kian in here. Um, yeah, Kian is in here. So did we ask the question? So
hello,
let's get
everybody.
that. Let's get their comments read, everybody.
Anybody commenting, DD?
Yes.
On which one? Which question? The first one
Any
or the
any
second one?
any comment, DD?
Yeah, let's read all the comments. We want people to know that we, reading their comments.
All right,
Let's keep.
going back to the first one. Kian said, "That's right, Nia. People in everybody's business." Um, we got Miss Maxine that said it's awful, and Miss Maxine also she said she spoke up too about Tabitha Brown retiring her husband.
Or what did she say?
She just said she retired her husband.
Oh,
That's
okay.
all. Um, so when we moving on to the next question about when I pose the question, ladies, what do you want in a man? We have Pierre says a man to be a man. Um, hold on, Miss Melinda said back to the first question. Miss Melinda said it should not be a math problem. You do what is needed within your marriage to make it work. That's right, Miss Maxine. I mean
Yeah,
Melinda.
I agree with that.
But Ken wants a man to be a man. Miss
What
Maxine
does
said a
what?
man that
What
pay the
does that mean? Hold on,
bills.
let's go back. Let's
Hold
go
on,
back.
hold on to this
Let's go
Kian.
back.
What does that
Yeah,
mean? A
what
man
does
to
a
be a
man
man.
be a
That's
man?
so.
Yeah,
That's
we need more dialogue on that.
that's too broad. It's way
Yeah,
too
a
broad.
man to be a man
She has
because
no problem with a man leading as long as he is showing leadership skills. That was her elaboration on that.
but who determines when he's showing leadership skill?
The female, the one that's in a relationship with him.
So if you don't think I'm being a man, then I lose my position. I mean, how does that work?
Just come on now, the same way it would work for a female. If y'all don't think the female do what she's supposed to do, she gonna lose her position.
Well,
No, I don't
this
agree with
was the
that.
question. The question I posed was, what is it that women are looking for in a man? Because we
Exactly.
obviously cannot answer that question, and we've been hard on women, been talking about the high value woman and all this. So today, we're just being nice and kind, and we just want to know what is it that a woman wants in her man, and don't get stuck on here, women, after all this complaining about this man on the men on this and can't answer the question, because that just mess up the show if you can't answer the question, because you should never brought it up weeks ago, months ago, years ago. Keep hearing it over and over. What a
A
man ain't, a
man,
man ain't. But
a
can't
man,
nobody tell us
just a
what a
man,
man is.
just a man being a man. I don't.
Yeah, what is that?
What that mean?
Kian would have to explain that because for me, you know, that's all on an individual basis. You know, you can't. No female can speak for the entire gender. You can't speak for all females. What one female looks for in a man or wants in a man can be something
Oh
totally
no,
different
we
than what
yeah,
another one.
we're not expecting one woman to speak for all women. We're
That's
not
Kian
expecting
said,
that.
Kian said he is supportive, hardworking, handling his responsibilities. Kiara jumps in and says, a man who is dependable and an equal partner. What type
Well, I
of
don't
what
think
type of response are y'all looking for?
you know what, man. I'm just gonna leave. We're gonna
go
end
ahead.
this
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
conversation, and
yeah.
I'm
I
just
agree
gonna
with you.
say it that what we've been saying is true. They don't know what the hell they want, but whatever we are, it ain't good enough. That's
It
what
ain't
it
good
is.
enough.
Yeah, women don't know. Some
What
I ain't gonna say
response
some
are you?
all
What
women,
type of response are you
but
all? What are
no,
y'all?
no, no, no,
What
no,
type
no,
of
no.
response y'all selecting? Because
There are
Kian
some women
says,
who know what they're looking for, and then there's some who don't. And somebody Keanne saying, "Oh, gee, that's not right," but it is right because can't. I mean, Melinda, she broke it down, but so far, everybody else just saying stuff. A dependable man, or this is a dependable man, a man that um fix light bulbs? Is it a man that cut the grass? I mean, what is a dependable man in the eyes of a woman? Because if men go around assuming things, I guarantee you he's gonna be
We gonna lose.
unhappy.
We gonna
Because a
lose.
woman gonna be unhappy because we just going by what we think she wants, you know? And that's the complicated part of it.
You got to know what you want. When you say a man be a man, when you say a man be dependable, okay, I show up every night for dinner. I'm dependable. I be on time at 6 o'clock to eat dinner. I'm being dependable. You ain't giving me no direction.
Miss Maxine says some men don't know what they want.
That's not the question though.
Then we go tick for a tack.
Kian said it might have taken me a while to find the right man. The real man knows what his woman wants.
That's not
Excuse me.
true.
Excuse me. Uh, excuse me.